I'm again trading live with you the EU session. Thank you very much for being here with me. It's my pleasure and honor here in Tom's trading room. All right, so markets open in 5 minutes. The usual disclaimer: this is no financial advice. This stream and its recording is for educational purposes only. This treatment is governed by the stipulation set out on the website Trader Tom, tradertom.com/disclaimer. And the reason why I'm here is because Tom wants to spend some time with the kids, as he wrote. So I just remind you of the schedule for May. So basically, this week you get to see me every day. And here's this special note. So today I will be streaming for an hour, and then Tom will take over. And for technical reasons, we might need to close the stream and then open it up again. Because obviously Tom and I are not on the same computer, right? We're in different locations. So that's probably the cleanest way to do it without technically overcomplicating it. All right. So that being said, we made a new low here. Interesting. Where's my cross? So the low 23,633. You see, this is just need to type that in manually. It's nothing magical happening here. That happens after the cash close at 17:30 CSET Frankfurt time, till the open in I don't know, 3 minutes or so. I consider that overnight. Yeah. So the cash low was also in that area, 23,913. Overnight high 977, and then basically here till 8:30 we were dropping, so the low at 633. Now we are pushing up against a little bit. Important to know is we closed basically, we are opening below all these levels, just above the overnight low. So once we take that out, there is certainly room for more downside movement. Otherwise, we might rotate to the overnight mid and back to previous cash low, and so forth. So is a rotation back here to this magnet, which is the cash close, the previous cash close, or down low, or we will be range bound, which can also be the case. Okay, so I will trade with you the espresso. See. Let's use a 18 point. Oh. Now, come on. Right. I think I can safely put in the short order. And the candle is still expanding. Trade management open, 14 more seconds. Putting in long order. Still slightly expanding. Oops, okay. No.
Order filled.
That was a little bit too fast. I couldn't move that up. Let's hope this will be all right. Now I would be filled. So I was too fast to post anything of that in Telegram. Oh, almost hit the target. Now it's deflating. Hopefully we get another push for the bulls. I will move stop loss just below the low here of the first bar. I will delete the sell short order. Come on. Stop loss to break even. Water with lime juice and some ice. And there we go, plus 20. Thank you very much. So. Okay. Let's adjust size. So it looks like we are shooting up here. Now hitting the overnight range, this box here, roughly, no, it's not precise. Probably has something to do that it's weekend. So the way that for the purpose of trading the school run and the the overnight range is rather defined as boxing the price action. On this chart, roughly from midnight so that should be rather the overnight range. Second. Usually put a box under the mic so that it's a little bit. Oh, you should hear me better like that. Even though I slept probably 8 hours, I woke up a little bit prematurely by a pigeon that was cooing outside of the terrace that is adjacent to my bedroom. And that can be really annoying when you wake up like that. But here we go. And that thing that starts, I probably really don't need an alarm clock. It starts always at 6:30. Well, that makes me fall out of bed. So let's see what the FTSE is doing. Oh wow, shooting also up. FTSE closed at 10,195. We're getting now a first bar positive. We're supposed to sell short below. Let's keep an eye on that. Maybe that might happen later. Just keep in mind, today I will stream for about 60 minutes and then Tom will take over. So I might you see mechanical espresso. I don't know why this is duplicated. I will post it like that so you know what happened, right? So I have a screenshot tool, so let's X that out. Okay. So got certainly a bullish close here. And now, so far, it looks like some follow through. So the whole overnight market midpoint here is crossed. And so the next target would be previous cash low. If I got that correct. And then of course the cash close. But certainly, just looking left, we are in a downtrend. So even if we don't look at the overnight, just at the cash sessions. So we're still below anything that happened in the last cash session. So we're still in the context of a downtrend. We opened gap down. So that's why, with that context, just the mere price action of the couple of bull bars that happened here still in the pre-market, plus that strong 5-minute bar, wouldn't be enough for me personally to, for example, buy on close, right? So one could have stayed in the espresso, right? Stop loss was at break even. I had a mechanical take profit at 20 points. but could have stayed in. But so far, that doesn't mean that this is completely bullish. Yeah? The first bar is, the context is not. So looks pretty similar in the FTSE. First 5-minute bar even more pronounced, closed at its high, very little upper shadow. The current bar, 30 seconds to go. So far, just retraced not even a quarter of the previous bar. And already traded higher. So plus, we're not so far away from the close of Friday. So a gap close is on the table here. Small gaps usually get filled very quickly. Closed above, made a new high. But also see that the length of the second bar is much smaller. So, but can be just a pause bar, and then we get a push higher, or we start to flatten out here, or even reverse. So far FTSE looks a little bit more bullish to me than the DAX. So if you perceive this as an uptrend, buyers may step in below prior bar low. But we have the luxury to wait for the aggressive screw run and the screw run. So, and while we're doing that, I just got a couple messages. Let's read through it. George says, good morning, Andy. Seems like Divergent is not working, or is it just for me? Okay. Anybody else got a problem with Divergent? I might put that here. Streamingtradertom.com. No, I hear myself. Okay, so seems to be working. Maybe that's just on your end, George. CD confirms Divergent all good. Rob also Divergent just fine. Hey Andy, WLF. Hey Andy, are you aware that you are muted? Telegram Live has no sound. Telegram sound working now. Okay. Yeah, when I start streaming on Telegram, that the bloody thing mutes me, and I have to actively unmute it. So that's a step that's easily overlooked. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. I don't see no point in, personally, I wouldn't stream to Telegram at all. We have such a great option here with YouTube and Divergent, but that's just how it's set up here. So I have to do that. So, Tushar Sony, why don't you trade on prop firms? Well, there's actually some discussion that Tom and I wanted to do together, and then for technical reasons we just don't seem to be able to get on the same stream. Yeah, so let me tell you my personal, okay, this is not Tom's opinion. I'm actually not quite sure what Tom's opinion is on prop firms. So it's just my own perspective, okay? So prop firms, to me, there are traditional prop firms that would set a trader up with capital and technical setups and a desk and stuff like that. So what commonly people refer to when they say prop firms, they mean those trading evaluation firms, yeah, where you buy a challenge, and and then by following the very strict rules, oftentimes, and then you trade on a paper account, like it's a demo account, right? And then you have there some objectives, and once you meet those objectives, then you might be eligible to payouts for any further profits, right? So so I see that is very appealing to people. I'd be like, okay, I don't need to deposit $10,000 or whatever currency you use, in a broker account. I just pay $200 for a challenge, right? So I look at that completely differently. For me, I just see there a business model that's actually quite brilliant. So let's say we all are entrepreneurial types. We would sit in a cigar lounge, right? We would just be like, trading, that's really tough, man, right? 90% fail. 90% of retail traders fail. Yeah, it's true. But the broker always makes money, right? It's always commission. Even if the trade is a losing trade, the broker wins. You need to be a broker. Yeah, but Andy, you know how hard it is to. Do you know how hard it is to be a broker? You need to have a license from the Czech central bank and need to be whatever certified in this and that. There's a ton of regulations. Ugh, that sounds like it's good to be a broker, but it's also hard to be a broker. I have it. Why don't we just let people trade on a demo account, and we will be just evaluating them as traders, and we charge for that evaluation a fee? Oh, that sounds interesting. And turns out that this discussion really happened, right? And so the first prop firms were created. Here in Prague is FTMO, for example. They're around for quite a bit. So, and turns out you can just, call yourself a prop firm. You just take your ID or whatever paper you need, go to your town hall or company registration office, just found a simple business and call yourself a prop firm, right? So, and that's it. No regulation whatsoever required, right? So just generally speaking, in some jurisdictions that might even be the case. But I'm oversimplifying here just for the sake of argument, right? So now, what is your money in? The money in is the challenging fees and, of course, the resets, right? You lose the challenge, you reset. That's your money in. That's where you make money from. What's your money out? Yeah, of course, that's your technical setup. You need some servers, you need some softwares, you probably have a little bit of staff. But apart from that, it's the payouts to those who pass the challenge and those who actually trade profitably, right? So, and maybe affiliates, they also receive payouts. Those who advertise for you, they also want to get something, right? So that's your money out. But you see that everything that you pay out needs to be paid out of that pot of the challenge and reset fees, right? That goes out of the same pot. So is it in your business interest that you actually pay out, right? No, it clearly isn't. Yeah. Also, notice there are, it's quite ridiculous actually. There are even spreads. Why is there a spread? It's paper trading anyway. It's a demo account anyway, right? Why is there a profit share? It comes out of that pot of challenge fees that you collect and resets, right? Those are just further deductibles. You just deduct something so your payouts are smaller, right? And you sell it to the trader as if there is a fair profit split or whatever. No, there isn't. It all comes out of that pot, right? So, yeah, where does that leave us? Every business wants to do what? Maximize profits, right? So to maximize profits, what would you do if you were a prop firm? Yeah, you would probably just look at the odds. 90% will lose money anyway. So there is no danger. But if you want to maximize profits more, yeah, you have to make the challenge harder. So that's why you have their rules in place, right? That you make traders follow. Otherwise, they are not eligible for a payout. So, for example, often you see a maximum drawdown, a maximum daily drawdown limit, or consistency rules, things like that. You see, with a proper broker, you don't have that. Yeah, you don't have that. There is no profit share. There are no rules. There aren't even payouts. You know, a proper broker is a bank. It's a specialized bank, right? So this is just a withdrawal. There is no hoping or whatever that you receive that payout. There is no discussion. You just click and boom, you have it on your bank account, right? So, but you have to pay commissions. With prop firms, you probably, if you trade prop firms only, you probably don't even realize what the spread is, right? The bid-ask commission. When you trade with brokers, you have to really look out for that, how much you pay for trading. But that, in a nutshell, I would say, is the reason why I don't trade with a prop firm. Not that I haven't ever tried, but to me, I just probably I'm just happy with that setup. So that being said, there seems to be some ladies and gentlemen out there, if you believe social media, who are doing quite well on prop firms. I don't know. I personally, I say it's much better to trade with a broker, but of course, you only should trade with money that you can afford to lose, right? So, and I understand that some people might have a restriction on that matter, so then it is what it is. Anyway, so sorry if that was a little bit lengthy, but I hope I explains that well. Again, that is not necessarily Tom's perspective. I'm actually quite curious about his perspective. That's just my personal one, right? So here's some of you guys. Marian says, for money in, they also make you agree that your account can be copied. Yeah, copied in what sense? Like that they mirror you. You know what I would do? I would probably mirror anybody but the profitable ones and just inverse them. I would just inverse them. Everybody loses money, right? So just inverse them. So yeah, but look, some brokers, they also bebook you. You know, they might hedge what you're doing, or they A-book you and then they do what you are doing. As long as they treat you fairly, I don't have a problem with that, right? So I also don't mind if a prop firm would copy my trades. or if they want to do the opposite here, bring it on. Come on, I mean, man to man, right? That's on them. As long as I'm treated fairly, I don't care. You know, I'm just concerned about my spreads, my fills, and my profits, right? Everything else, what the broker does there behind the scenes, or the prop firm for that matter, I don't care, as long as I'm treated fairly. Yeah. Steve Perry says, have you ever passed any challenge and read the contract? All the limits to keep you disciplined. I have both real and funded accounts. It's a long discussion. Yes, I have passed a challenge, but I never had any significant payouts, and I abandoned that very quickly. Yeah, and of course I'm German. I fucking read the contract. You know, I really do read the contract, and I'm very well aware of everything that's in there. Right? Yeah, it's a long discussion, brother. I agree. Don Quingshot, well said, Andy. I think that is exactly the business model of a prop firm. Thank you that you agree. But I believe that makes perfect sense, right? How they operate, and also that you're not doing them a favor by winning. Let's put it like that, right? Because what you make, it must be paid out of the pot of collected challenge fees, right? And resets. That's their money in. Yeah. So if they hedge some traders or copy some traders, that might be something else, but you know, just the core business model. Geotisman. Hi Andy, what's the reason for the abandonment of prop firms? Who abandons prop firms? I don't know what you mean with that. Like my personal reason. So interesting here. Let's quickly look at the DAX. So we have here a little 1, 2, 3, 4 bars in a sideways movement here, which looks like so far like a bull flag, and now bar 6 is making a new high. School run will trigger in 3 minutes. We had the opportunity to go long at the aggressive school run. But if we place the stop loss here at the opposite side of the signal bar, we would have been stopped out. So we would have to play it long only. So be convinced that it's in fact a bull trend that will continue. We would have to use a larger stop. So I didn't do that. So first 15-minute bar closed at its midpoint, a long upper shadow, but now there is a lot of follow through. The second 15-minute bar, FTSE just closed the gap, trading higher. So depending on the close, if you get a strong bull close in the DAX, I would be inclined to just maybe even buy on close, or then take the school run a couple points more. Jacobo, hi Andy. Food for thought. I can see that Tom often talks about tight fixed spreads on TD365, now Trade Nation, but what it is good for when you have slippage, a rather big one when there's big volatility. Yeah, brother, tight and fixed spreads are really, I mean, look, if you, even at this humble size here, yeah, maybe I wait for the school run, it's in 30 seconds. That's a little bit, okay. Just shooting up here. Now let's wait for the close. Yeah, I'm buying the DAX here. Long the DAX on a school run. Didn't even wait for the fill. That was more a buy on close. So now you have a chance to get a better entry. There it is. Bought the DAX at 23,894. Stop loss is, I will put it at the opposite side of the signal bar, risking 98 points. Stop loss is 23,796. So immediate target would be the gap fill. So maybe where I would consider scaling a little bit out, put stop loss to break even and let it run. So let's address the question about the spread. So the question was, what good is a tight fixed spread when there is slippage? Yeah. So first of all, slippage you have everywhere, right? Slippage is just when basically when there are no when there is a vacuum of buyers and sellers. So you get filled only when there are actual buyers and sellers who can so even though we are on CFDs, right, which is just this is a synthetic instrument which replicates the underlying asset, which is the futures. So if we traded futures, that's very clear, right? It's a market. If you want to buy, there needs to be somebody who's willing to sell, right? So, and if there is a news release or anything like that, and price moves very, very fast, and you want to exit at market, it can be that price travels quite a distance before there's actually anybody who will buy, right? So, and that distance, that's what's called slippage. Slippage can be in your favor. Let's call it positive slippage. Can be against you. It's negative slippage, right? So, and that is often also replicated in that synthetic instrument that I'm trading here, which is called CFDs. So, do I get with Trade Nation? I personally, do I see a lot of slippage? No, not at all. Only really around news releases, and I don't trade news releases directly. I use the rule of 4, something like that. So when the initial high volatility dies down, but even directly at the open of the DAX, not really slippage. maybe sometimes half a point or something like that, but that's the extent of it. So now mostly I get really filled instantly, and so I end up only paying the spread, and the spread is fixed and the spread is low, right? I fire about 20 trades per day. There's 250 trading days per year. So how much is that? That's 5,000 trades. And even at a very humble size, if you pay 1 point, like I do here in the DAX, versus maybe 3 points, you can easily see where that goes. That's a big difference at the end of the year that I rather want to have in my pocket. But that's just me. You can trade with whoever you want. I'm not saying you should trade with a broker. I don't say you should trade with Trade Nation. I'm just explaining why I do what I do. But that's all up to your discretion. So, Shinzi, Andy, are you aware of the next best broker to Trade Nation for those of us who managed to get themselves banned from Trade Nation? I gave them a good old Aussie spray after they kept charging me for a product that was advertised as free. Well, what I would do, I would probably, I don't know what you're trading. I would probably compare, the commissions, and if they're variable commissions, variable spreads, I would probably open an account, or at least a demo account, but probably a real account, and then I would probably screen record the DAX or whatever you're trading, and see how the spread changes. And then I would just in that interval that you observe there, I would note down the widest spread. That's how I would compare. It's a little tedious, but that's what you would have to do. So some gentleman asks here, is there a clear point to abandon school run? Just a stop loss? Yeah, brother, there's the signal bar, you go long above, short below. The stop loss, that's the opposite side of the signal bar. And that's just it. If you want to use that as a way to buy into an uptrend, you might want to use a bigger stop loss, but the school run rules say opposite side of signal bar. So you guys ask excellent questions today. I'm really happy about that, but I also need to take a look at this position. Let me see. So we pulled back close to 50%. So this is a Fibonacci tool, but I also just want to see like where is half, where is a quarter, where is 75%. So, and interestingly, the stop loss here sits at the 75% marker. I would probably want to have it like really smack on top. So risking 100 points. just adjusted stop loss here. It's just 2 points adjustment. Because I believe that anything deeper, I think I said that already, than a 61.8% retracement, then the odds of continuation are getting very slim, right? So then we either start an early trading range or even a reverse. So I would draw the line here at the 75% level, which also sits below the signal buy. It's consistent with the school run. Just 2 more points. And there we go. FTSE also coming down a bit. This could be early indication of a reversal pattern. Head, shoulder. Anyway, so I will stop streaming before Tom takes over, maybe in 20 minutes. So let's take a couple more questions. I think I will not do anything more than manage this position. My God, you guys are really active. Eric, guten Morgen, Andy. Do you ever trade with music playing in the background? No, never. I don't know where that comes from. People, do they need constantly some noise around them in the background or whatever? That is just, to me, if that helps you, but for me that would just be disturbing. Music also has patterns, right? Maybe even, you know, your brain would analyze that music, you know, and I don't want to focus on anything else than what's right on the chart. The gentleman without a name who asked about abandoning school run now added another question. At this point, it has support on the Bollinger Band 20 candle average. Would you ever add to school run? So I don't use Bollinger Bands, mate. I don't know what that would be. You clearly see I don't have any indicators on my chart. I just have used that FIB tool here. So I wouldn't know that. If you use Bollinger Bands, it's fine by me. Nothing wrong with that. I just don't use them, so I can't speak to that. His name is Joel. No worries. Would I ever add to school run? Yeah, of course I would add to a winning position if I have the opportunity. Yes, I would. Certainly would. Why wouldn't I? Adding to winners is making all the difference, right? Because let's face it, that stuff often enough doesn't really work. So, but with adding to winners, you can push the odds massively in your favor. Hi Andy, I'm Valentin. Do you make a living from trading or do you have another job business on the side? It's all I'm doing right now, brother. Joel says whenever he add returns, then add from a position of strength. Maybe just reinvest a little bit. Run it like a business, you know. You could, for example, move stop loss a little bit up, let's say 20 points. Now you have 20 points to spend on an add-on. Put 20 points stop loss on that add-on, for example. Yeah? Or add in half size and you can afford a 40 point stop loss, right? So you have to play with that, mate. I can't even say, I don't have fixed rules for adding. But I like to see a little bit momentum. I like to see a little bit continuation, or at least a fast moving candle, and also can dare to shoot from the hip. Yeah, can you please explain how to add AM? I just did. That's there's many ways to add. You can play around with it. You can, for example, in an uptrend, you can measure the pullbacks here, and usually a shallow pullback 38.2%. If you're convinced you're in an uptrend, that's a point where you could add, or you could just add every 50 points in profit or so, just mechanically. Yeah, you could shoot from the hip. If you see a fast moving candle just shooting up, yeah, but I would never add to a losing position, like right now, for example. That would be called averaging in. If I just clicked buy here at this point. Now, as long as I'm negative on a position, I will not add. I will only add to a winner. So, yeah. And I add usually 100% on top, but you can maybe start by just adding a little bit. Stefan, hi Andy, do you have some statistics of your trading the espresso play? Would you be willing to share them? I'm thinking about win rate, average win in points, average loss in points. Yeah, well, yeah, I have that. I'm not sure I want to. I'm willing to share that. Do your own research. I mean, seriously. Do you want to be handed a winning strategy that enables you to, with very little effort, make money every day? I don't know. I'm showing you how I'm doing it. So you have all the parameters to play around with and to test. This should be an educational thing, not like getting a money-making machine handed on a silver platter. So do a little bit of your own research, if you don't mind. Are you just being curious? All right. Okay. Okay, no worries. Fair enough. Good morning, Anka, Matteo, and thank you for everything. Really enjoy having you on the stream. Thanks. Oh, you're very welcome. Oh, quick question. Does the espresso work in the FTSE as well? I believe Tom originally devised that actually for the FTSE. So I just don't use it in the FTSE. But I would suspect that you would need smaller offset in the FTSE. Yeah? FTSE moves slower. Can play around with it. Karol Nowakovsky. Hello, Andy. Just so you know, we have a big breakout here. Maybe it would be a good idea to wait for confirmation. This is DAX. And he was drawing there a trend line. Yeah, so this waiting for confirmation, brother, is an established retail concept. You know why I don't do that? Because waiting for confirmation can cost you a lot of points. So I consider myself a breakout trader, and I trade the break directly. Yeah, because if it moves away from you, and there's never any confirmation, where you will not be in that move, and that would be sad, right? But of course, when you have more confirmation, obviously your win rate should go up, right? You get a little bit more security, but you're paying for that in terms of points. So not my style, but it's definitely a valid concept. So if you want to wait for confirmation, no worries. Also with diagonal lines, I have a. It's not like I don't use them, right? But the problem with diagonal lines is how to draw them objectively. You can't. You will always include your bias. Like, look, if I just connect, well, let's go to the 50-minute chart. So that's not so. So, see, let's say if I connect these two tops here, see where that ends? And you would say, yeah, that trend line doesn't make any sense. Okay, so would you ignore all of that and just put it down here? And which tops to connect, right? Which one will you connect? This? Will you include this? Oh, then we're trading higher. Will you include this? Will you include this? You know, where's the bloody breakout now? Right? So, this didn't work. So we start at that swing high here. Okay. See that? What to connect? Objectively, you would have to connect those two tops, right? So, where's the breakout now? There's no breakout, right? So that's what I mean. You always try to include your bias. So you're probably doing something like this, right? Connect like as many tops here as you think fit your narrative, and then there's the breakout, and let's wait for the pullback, and then buy. Yeah, right. I used to trade also like that. It is just not as objective as looking at horizontal levels. Yeah. So, but you know, I'm 40 points offside, so what the fuck do I know, right? Anybody waiting for any kind of confirmation would be better off than me right now. So this is very slow now. Hi, Andy. Great to watch you live trading. You use the CFD account or the spread account on Trade Nation? Oh, what's the difference? Those who were migrated from TD365, they either spread or not. I don't know. I used that one that was migrated from TD365. So I have 5 more minutes. I will try to answer your questions following up on that. Can't promise there are so many. So okay. Shoabib Khan, if you could give me some mechanical steps for risk management and strategy, that would be awesome for me as an algorithmic trader to build a system. Even if this strategy can't be automated because of adding to positions. If you can provide an idea or strategy that can be automated. Brother, why don't you automate a school run or whatever, you know? The stuff that you see me trading here on Espresso. So where's the issue with that? So there are 3 elements that you need to take into consideration. Risk to reward ratio, win rate, right? And commissions. That's often forgotten. So if those 3 in a series of trades play out in your favor, then it's a profitable strategy, right? Win rate alone doesn't say anything. You also need to look at risk to reward. So we were for a second back at entry with the position, but it's as far as I can go with here. Otherwise, that would take too long, brother. I hope that helps. Look into that. So hi Andy, what do you think about volumetric analysis? No, I don't think anything about it. I don't use it. Hi Andy, you're using the spread account with Trade Nation. Thank you. So now I know that. Stefan Nuters, significant gap down plus SRS top at the edge of the overnight range. Good odds for anti-play short. Certainly would have worked out great, right? Hello, good morning, Andy. Can you please explain how to add? Can you please send me 1 minute USD? 1 million USD. You want that I sent you 1 million US dollars? Are you even, have a preference about the currency? Can I convert my euros into US dollars for you? Would that be would that help you? If I sent you a million Czech crowns, would you do the conversion yourself? Would you care? Unfortunately, a million Czech crowns is not worth as much. So, come on, send me bank account details already. Too late, brother. Now my goodwill is expired. That was unprofessional of you not to include your bank account details. So next guy who requests $1 million from me better send me bank account information before I lose patience. Bloody hell, guys. Marian, for money in, they also make you agree that your account can be copied. Exactly, they can mirror your transaction, or you can export from empty for different hours. It doesn't make the exact. Okay, that was still to the prop firm issue. Yeah. Okay, I believe also, guys, are you aware of the research channel of Tom on Telegram? If not, maybe go to Tom's website, find that link. I think a lot of your questions can be answered by just going to the research channel and look at that. So, I've been streaming for about an hour. This position is almost in back at entry. I will be leaving it at that. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an absolute pleasure and honor trading with you. So that's from me. If you want, I will be back for the US session. Karaoke Andy out. Oh, and yeah, Tom might take over in a couple of minutes. He will start a new stream. Yeah. So for technical reasons, I have to close this here, and then Tom might start a new stream. All right. So see you later. Bye bye.